Welcome back. Thank you to the Tam fam in the audience and you at home. This show is about betting on yourself. When it feels like the odds are stacked against you, can you do it? Can you rise? Would you be able to rise to the occasion? That's why we're Tam fam. Our next guest has been doing it his whole life. After telling his mom at the age of 7 that he wanted to be a Broadway star, Robert Hartwell, that's a Broadway star pose, made it happen. He's performed in 5 musicals on Broadway, plus 2 national tours. And yes, shout out for that. Those experiences led to Robert's next big dream. So follow me now. In 2016, he became the only African-American CEO in a musical theater education when he founded the Broadway Collective and became the CEO of Strength on Stages. Now, in 2020, Robert went viral when he posted on social media that he'd purchased his dream home in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Here's what he wrote. I called the seller and was told it was a cash-only offer and that I'm sure that takes you off the table. Don't you ever underestimate a hard-working black man. I know this house, he goes on to write, I know this house is bigger than me. I wish I could have told my ancestors when they were breaking their backs in 1820 to build this house that 200 years later, a free gay black man was going to own it and fill it with love and find a way to say their name even when 200 years later, they still thought it would be off the table. We are building our own tables. I've never been prouder to be a black man. Come to my White House anytime. Please welcome to the Tam fam Broadway star CEO, now historic homeowner, Robert Hartwell.
Oh, thank you, Tamron. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I mean, as they say, that was a word. That was a lot.
My gosh,
you said
got me crying already.
You wrote it.
Oh.
You wrote it. 2020, world turned upside down.
Yes.
We know lockdowns, the death of George Floyd, protests, all of our lives. I don't care who you were. You were in the same space.
Correct.
Of not knowing about the next day. You decided in the blink of an eye to go from not thinking about buying a home to going and buying a home, what, 3 days?
It was a week.
A week.
A week.
The deal was signed on Juneteenth to add to all of that. Listen, we talked about you'd had great Broadway success. You must have had a lot of it. You had cash money, as they say where I'm from. Cash money to come in and buy this house. The history, though, of the house started to unfold.
Right.
What were you learning about the house?
Well, I was learning that, one, I was not alone, first and foremost, and that the ancestors truly were with me, because getting to the home was not me. Truly what got me to the home was the death of my Aunt Paulette from COVID. And she was the first person that I lost from this pandemic. And I remember in that moment, my stepmom Eileen said to me, she said, Robert, you have to wake up. And she said, you gotta go outside. And she said, you have to feel air. You just gotta get outside. And I remember that pain was like, but I just wanna stay inside. I was not at all thinking, I wanna be a homeowner during the pandemic. I just wanted my business to survive.
Banks weren't even open.
They were not, okay?
Banks were closed.
They were not, you know, but it was that got me out of the house and got me to seeing the listing for this home.
And you get the home, you start uncovering things about the house.
Yes. So I get the home and I realize, oh my gosh, this home is built in 1820. I'm a huge history nerd. I get that from my dad. And I'm starting to realize all of the history pieces of what were Black and brown people doing in Massachusetts at that time? What was my family doing that were enslaved in Virginia at that time? And you're starting to also realize, oh my gosh, I always just need a little clue in the flesh. And for me, it was realizing W.E.B. Du Bois was born and raised in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. And so that was just like that final God wink for me. That was like, you are on the right path. just keep going.
And you've kept going.
Yeah.
You're renovating
Yes.
this house. It's a whole big old deal. People have been following
Yes.
all of the nooks and crannies. We can't reveal it yet. It's coming soon, that's what I can tell you. But has this experience, I mean, it's against all odds. Someone told you you weren't going to be able to get it. You got it. You've now gone through the process. It's yours. How does that feel?
It feels like we can do anything when we are surrounded by the right people, right?
Yeah.
I believe, right?
Yeah.
Because we joked at the beginning. We said, how'd you go take $379,000 and go buy this house in cash? It was my best friend Rachel Rogers telling me in 2015, take what you know as a Broadway performer and turn that into a business. Turn that into something that you can continue to help other people,
I love that.
you know, grow. And so that truly was the shift for me. Yeah.
Surround yourself with the people who lift you up and who help you beat back the odds when they're against you. Well, congratulations, homeowner.
Thank you.
We all have to visit you.
Yes, please.
And real quick, as we're going to break, fun fact, Robert and I sat next to each other. We didn't know each other at a Broadway play.
Yes.
Ain't No Mo.
Yes.
And we were like slapping each other on the shoulders, and I didn't even know him. And then my team said, we have this guy, he's coming on the show, and you met him. I was like, oh no. We sat at this show, and we're like, screaming. So we were the rude people that almost got thrown out, but not really. Robert, thank you so much. Congratulations.